welcome to another weekly GameDev Log. The focus this week has been around creating the levels and pushing the game closer to the MVP. Anyway, let's jump in. I started the week off focusing on level creation, but there were a few kinks along the way that I still had to get ironed out. For example, the colour change animation was playing immediately, rather than waiting for the player to start the level. This was likely to be a bug I introduced when moving to use my game event system, rather than the singleton level controller that was previously there. By the end of the first day, I managed to get level 3 created, along with tweaking levels 1 and 2 to show that their star requirements were fairly competitive. I wanted to take a little break from level creation, so I decided to try and squash some bugs that have been around for a while. The first issue was with the score indicator, which I had actually created a long time ago. At some point this functionality became broken, and I didn't realise for quite a while. That's a clear example of where unit tests come in handy. I think I'll be investing a lot more time into working out how to work with unit tests in Unity for the next game. Anyway, the functionality for the score indicator is that when you slice an ingredient, there is a score that pops up into the view of the player to show the points you gain for that slice. For some strange reason, these scores were no longer being seen, and it turns out it's because they were being created literally thousands of units away from the screen. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is something that could have been broken when I switched to the new version of Unity. After getting the score indicator working, I managed to sort out an issue I was having on mobile, where the blades trail was splitting into two different directions. This only affected mobile, so I don't actually have an example of this in action. After deep diving into the blade trail code, I managed to simplify the whole functionality, which in turn fixed the problem. I was originally creating and destroying the trail renderer as a separate game object, which is not very efficient in terms of the garbage collection. I changed this to instead just toggle whether the trail renderer was emitting or not, and attach the trail renderer directly to the blade game object. I'm not entirely sure why I didn't do this in the first place, as it seems the most obvious approach to this problem. Either way, I managed to sort this issue out, which has been stifling the mobile version for quite a while. Next up, I worked on fleshing out some more ingredients. I'd been mulling with the idea of creating the pepper a while back, and I finally decided to give it a go. The beauty of the pepper is that I would actually get 3 ingredients for the price of 1, if I could set up the artwork effectively. I started off with references and creating the basic shape. Then I fleshed out the base colours for the sections of the pepper. I then laid on top the shadows and the details and tried to ensure that I was using just black and white colours with transparency on top of the layers, so that way it would work for all the different base colours. I managed to create a pepper that looked fairly good in yellow, red and orange, so I was happy with that. It did take me a little while longer than normal to create it, but it definitely didn't take 3 times as long, so I'm counting that as a win. Towards the end of the week, I started on the mouldy and the chopped versions of the peppers. The mouldy one wasn't too difficult, but for some reason I really struggled with the sliced versions. I was struggling to create depth on the inside of the pepper due to still having the restrictions of trying to get it working for all the different colours. I didn't end up getting the sliced pepper finished, and I didn't get a chance to start the mouldy sliced version. I'll pick this up in the coming week, as my MVP states that I should have at least 3 ingredients before being ready for publishing, so creating the pepper will definitely push me across the milestone. I think I lost focus a little this week, as I originally set out to create the first 12 levels. I'm not too beaten up about it though, as I did manage to fix up some long running bugs. Also, with work on the pepper, I was still pushing towards the MVP items, so I wasn't completely distracted. I think going into next week, I'll try and balance the level creation with other items similar to how I have this week. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to get notified for these videos. Also, if you want to get involved whilst I'm developing, I usually stream Monday, Wednesdays and Friday nights on Twitch. Okay, bye now.